While we continue to track the Russia-Ukraine deal, Vladimir Putin is silently teaching Ukraine one important lesson: how to make friends. Because while Volodymyr Zelensky leaned on an unreliable West, Putin has built his own axis, one that doesn't shift with elections or geopolitics. What is Russia's hidden message in this war? Which countries are answering Putin's calls? And can it render the US-led West helpless? I'm Ananya, and this is Grey Zone. It took an Avengers-style team to show that the West is united behind Ukraine. 7 official jets touched down, their entourage followed, and "Thank you, Trump" echoed in the White House.
First of all, thank you for invitation and thank you very much for your efforts.
Something is changing, something has changed thanks to you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for organizing this meeting and for your commitment.
And a trilateral meeting seems the sensible next step, so thank you for being prepared to take that forward.
We grew up believing the world revolves around the United States. But today that belief has come back to haunt those who built their foreign policy on it. Because when Europe was struggling to be on the right side of Trump, Putin was busy rewriting the rules of diplomacy. With a 3-year-long deadlock, many in Washington believe that a one-on-one meeting between Trump and Putin could produce a breakthrough. It will be premature to say whether that summit in Alaska was a breakthrough or not, but it definitely revealed the new age diplomacy. We were first told on August 8 by Trump that he will be meeting with his Russian counterpart in Alaska. Soon after, an official newsletter was released by Moscow and Beijing that the two leaders had a phone call. Putin thanked Xi Jinping for his role in the political settlement of the Ukraine crisis. Remember, China has been sending military aid throughout this war. The same day, India and 3 ex-Soviet states, Belarus, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, were also rung, all of whom import oil from Russia and have continued to do so in the face of Western sanctions. 4 days later, an unexpected call was made to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Putin expressed appreciation for Pyongyang's help in the Kursk region, where over 10,000 foreign troops have been fighting. August 15th is when the much-awaited summit took place in Alaska. Putin landed on American soil after a decade. Smiling and waving, Putin left for Moscow, and immediately a relay of diplomacy started. As Putin rested, his foreign minister Sergei Lavrov picked up the receiver and called his counterparts in Hungary and Turkey on August 16th. Then a day later, the Russian president rang Belarus to give a brief about the Alaska summit. And soon after, Kazakhstan's capital also started to ring. On August 18th, as Washington geared up to host the European Avengers, Putin flexed his most important alliance, the BRICS. India's Narendra Modi, Brazil's Lula da Silva, and South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa all received personal calls to get an exclusive window into what went down in Alaska. Central Asian countries of Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan received a second round of calls. Now, if we put all of these countries on the map, it looks something like this. In red, you see the BRICS bloc. These are the heavyweight economies outside the Western Alliance and a sour point for the United States. In orange, the Central Asian republics light up, landlocked but geopolitically vital. In blue, 2 NATO members, Hungary and Turkey, stand out. Both are technically allied with Washington, yet are not adverse to Moscow. In yellow, Russia's immediate neighbor and an all-weather ally, Belarus, without whom the invasion of Ukraine wouldn't have been possible, is seen. And finally, in green, the so-called pariah state, North Korea, an isolated regime, but one that has become a dependable ally for Moscow. And that's the bigger story here. If Ukraine has the unpredictable West, Russia has built an axis that complements today's geopolitics, not historical ties. Oil for some, weapons for others, anti-dollar for others, or if you're a pariah, there is a space for you too. Every country on Putin's call log has its own unique reasoning. But together, they form a coalition that doesn't shift with elections. And that is the hidden message of this war. Let the US think it's at the top of the world order, but slowly build power that suits the 21st century and not the Cold War. You've been watching Grey Zone. Thank you so much.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.